Hey folks, so last week we had Caleb and Chau, two of our engineers that have been working on NX Deno support, come by our live stream to show off the new capabilities that you can use with the new NX Deno plugin. Overall, it was a great conversation and we had a lot of great questions from the audience about general Deno things, but I wanted to take the core storyline of having an NX workspace that had an Express app and move that over to a Deno app. So that's what this video is. I hope you enjoy it. Please like and subscribe and do all that good stuff if you enjoy this kind of video, and check out the description below for the whole conversation, which was great too. So here you go. I've got VS Code open. Let me maybe show what we have so far. Let's show the project graph. So at the base here is sort of a TypeScript library. Not necessarily Deno or NPM, but there's just some interfaces in here. Actually, let's take a look at the models file. So inside of our models file here, we just have a bunch of interfaces that describe how the different request bodies and response bodies and some of the entities that we'll be using inside of sort of like a to-do API, if you will. And then we have an API client here. We can take a look at that. API client has a bunch of functions. It's pretty much wrapping our API to just say, this is how you get to-dos. Here's how you create a to-do. Just wrapping that up so that we don't have to remember like what the fetch looks like, what the method needs to be, all that stuff. We just have a function to pass the things that we actually need. And then top level here is a to-do app. This is written in React. I think it's using like React query. We actually don't need to know too much about that because it just like interfaces with the API client and it works. So let's take a look at the API. I think I could jump into like my main TS file here. And we can see here's our Express server. And we are just hosting those endpoints that correspond right back here to our client. So what we'd like to do, I think, when we look at this graph, is we want to take this API written in Express in sort of this Node ecosystem. We want to take that out, or maybe we could just leave it in, actually. Before I just leave it in. But we want to get fast. We want to get blazingly fast. We want to get Deno
Yes.
fast. So we want Deno at our API.
So first thing we want to do is make sure we have everything committed, which I think we do. I don't see anything checked out.
Yeah.
And
Source
then
control is clear.
let's go. And then we'll have the plugin. So we have the new Narwhal Deno plugin that we just published this past week. So you should be able to.
Is it in the registry already? Yeah, look at that.
There you go. Didn't know it was in there. Nice. Yeah, so you'll want to install that plugin. And once that's installed, we can just generate an app like we would with any other Narwhal plugin, like the Node plugin.
I believe I may already have this in my Node modules, just because
why.
of what we had done before. Yeah. It's already there. Because if you hadn't, if you didn't have this installed, it's pretty easy, right? It's just yarn add d narwhal deno. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Cool. And the D is just added to your dev dependencies. Looking at the stuff here, do we want to go right into this application generator?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can. We can generate one, and then we can look at maybe if we want to explore a little bit what we get out of the box.
Yeah.
And like the file system changes. And then we can look into kind of porting the API over.
There we go. That looks right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, I don't think we need anything other than the name, probably.
No. Yeah, the defaults, we try to make them happy and helpful.
Well, let's go ahead and make our app. We could probably take a look at everything we dropped in.
Sure.
We updated our extensions. Interesting.
Yes. So we go ahead and add the Deno extension as a recommended. So if you clone this down after the fact, you'll get that little prompt on VS Code to be like, hey, you should install this extension, because that includes the language service for Deno, which we then also configure in your settings for VS Code by default. So if you pop open that guy, so this guy, we basically say, hey, this is where we want Deno to run. So this scopes where Deno runs. So if you have Node and Deno in the same workspace, this will prevent Deno from like running like, hey, this is wrong, or you're missing this, and then TypeScript also being like, hey, this is wrong, because they will work only in certain scope paths. And then, that import map, which we can talk about here in a second, basically is what you can think of as equivalently the tsconfig path that you're used to with NX. So like where you'd have those aliases for your libraries and stuff. That's kind of the Deno equivalent.
Yeah, so we put one of these in the base, in the root of our project. Let's maybe take a look. Mm-hmm. So this is new, this import map is, as we ran the generator.
Yep. And right now there's no libraries with Deno have been generated, so there's no paths here set.
But if we were to make a library with Deno, it would just go...
It would automatically add that entry for us. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, let's take a look at the application itself, maybe. We just generated our Deno API. I think we'll probably take a look at ripping all of this stuff out. Well, hey, let's look at the project JSON here, because I want to let's serve what we've got and see what it's doing, and then we'll like stand up our to-do app with Express, and then we'll start pulling things out and switching it over. So I guess we just want to serve, right?
Yeah, just serve.
There it is, listening on localhost 8000. I guess we go to localhost 8000. There it is.
There you go. Just a good old happy JSON response.
It's just that easy, y'all. Let me get Postman here. I feel like we may need it. There we go. That looks nice. That's good enough for me. All right. So Deno's working. It's working on 8000. I think we'll probably want to hit that. Like, I want to just replace it all. So I think I'm going to put this to 3000 eventually. Yeah. I guess we'll do just like npx nx serve, and then to do, I think was the name. So this is standing up the React app. Let's drop something here. NX serve API, and that's up the Express app. Well, so let's just go check out localhost 4200. Those things should already be talking to each other. At the start, we're doing a fetch request to our server that's going to give us our list of to-dos. Right now, we have nothing. Next step to do is just to create a new to-do item. We can see the create post request went through, and it's giving us enough information back that we can kind of stitch this together inside of our in-memory cache. You can think of it for our React application. Clicking it on or clicking it off is sending these toggle requests. I'm just going to respond back with the state of the resulting state we ended up with in the response, and then a delete here is going to go out and delete that the targeted to-do item. So if we were to add some test stuff here, because all of the source of truth is kind of the memory of our running API application at the moment. So if I do a hard refresh on the homepage, when we do that initial get, we're getting just the first. We're maintaining state across these runs. So I'm going to take down our API. Our API app is the Express one. And so we're going to replace this. What do I call it? Deno API?
Deno API, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll start serving that. I guess the first thing is right now we're listening on port 8000. If we look at the client that we have, we're expecting 3000. I don't want to touch all these. So let's just change that first, maybe.
We could leverage the Oak framework if we want
to. Yes. Let's pull that up, actually. Let's go to the Oak docs. Oak Deno. Let's just start with this. We just replace all the stuff we've got so far.
Sure thing.
Drop it in. And I'm going to remove our handler too.
Yeah, you can just delete those files.
Delete, move to trash. There we go. And interestingly, I just imported from this URL, like an HTTPS URL.
The cache is like, if you run Deno info on your machine, like on a terminal, you'll see all the cached paths that you.
Oh, interesting.
And I think if you command click on that import, it'll also show you. So here's where a cache is. Oh, that's taking you to the actual
That takes
docs.
me actually to HTTPS. Yeah.
Maybe like go to definition or something. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Yeah, so here you are. So you're in that file kind of locally. Well, I guess it is locally, but it's not like in your actual workspace. So this is the actual code that you're getting to look at.
Yeah. It looks like it's like at some root level library.
Yeah,
patches.
it's a shared. So like it's a shared library. So if you use this version of this library in another project, it won't be downloaded because it's a global registry on your local machine. Yeah.
Well, let's push ahead with the app. I think at this point, if we take a look at our web app, we're thoroughly broken. So that's actually good. And that's just because there's nothing on port 3000. So let's start by hitting something on port 3000. Well, we got to enable cores.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the Oak documentation. I think there's
a cores package.
Okay. Yeah. Let's look for cores, Deno.
Yeah. So So there's this package called cores that supports a handful of different frameworks. Thank you.
Yes.
I was like, God, and Oak is one of them. So we can just use that package.
Cool. I was hoping it would autocomplete, or it would.
I think the language service only works on. I think it's so like if you started typing like import from and then started building the HTTP path. I think the Deno language service can help you there, and then I think it can help you with these imports once it's already there, but it can't magically find what imports from. So that is kind of like interesting because technically these TypeScript files can be hosted literally anywhere. Mm-hmm. But Deno.landx is like the kind of Deno folks one.
We want to do something very much like the example here.
Yeah,
so I'm actually tempted to like grab some of this. I guess we want to bring router in from.
That should be from Oak.
Yeah. Router. Let me see. Does the language service?
I think so. I thought it was prompting for maybe something. Yeah, click that bad boy. Oh, try the other one.
This one. No.
Oh, it did, but it pulled it from the sub package.
Interesting.
As you can see.
We don't want that though, right?
No, I just pulled it from the mod file, which is kind of like the equivalency of like an index.ts file that we're used to. Like module is kind of how people seem to be building. Yeah. It was close though.
It was. I guess so. We've got just some router stuff here. Let's actually comment this out for now. And because the first thing we need to do is we need to like create our in-memory database.
Our
to-dos. Say to-dos. And here's where we get an interesting thing that happened. So we did get IntelliSense on that. I don't know if you saw it, but we have right now a relative import rather. Mm-hmm. That like got the right place. So already IntelliSense was able to see, okay, there's a to-do in this workspace. Let's offer that in IntelliSense. So we were able to fill that out. But I don't like this relative import.
Yeah. Then let's fix this. And to do that is where we leverage that import map that we were talking about kind of at the top of this stream. So if we drop down to that import map file, this is basically what our tsconfig paths do. Is they take like a named import alias, so excuse me, so you can like add blah 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 / blah blah blah, and then that routes to a given file, and it can be anything. This is just kind of following NX conventions.
Sure, and then
we can call that models. Yeah, and so then this path just aliases to basically a relative path from the workspace root. So you would go to models.ts in this case.
Copy path, import map, drop it.
Yep. And then the trick here is a local file path has to start with a dot, or basically a dot or dot slash.
Dot slash.
Dot slash. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So that'll be, and that basically resolves to that file.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that.
Quick fix.
That looks better. That looks much better. Let's look at doing our initial GET request. So this is to get this array. So we have like this array at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do this actually. I'm sorry.
Nice. Fancy.
Yeah. There's no need. There's no need for linear time lookups, right? So
That's right.
That one constant time is so close. So yeah, this object we'll use that as a hash map. We'll actually use that as our database really to store all of our to-dos and stuff like that. So really the first thing we want to do is whenever we get something at the base of our API, so whenever we do a GET request to localhost 3000, I think we said, 3000.
3000.
We just want to I guess the way we would do this is we'd set the context dot response dot body equals
There you go.
like so. I think it's screaming at us because we don't need an async here.
Right. Yep. So that's the Deno linter language service being like, hey, you don't need that.
At this point,
this you'll have to
restart, right?
Yeah.
Because we touched our import map. Every time we do that, we need to restart.
Yeah, because that's kind of held in memory by Deno at the time of running it. So like, you'll have to rebuild the module graph and then serve it. So.
Cool beans. We are still getting a 400 on localhost. There you go. That's all.
Yeah, these two guys.
There we go. Drop them in. All right, that makes more sense. Let's see if that works now.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Got our empty array right now. Let's uncomment our next one. We'll add. I guess this was a post.
Yeah, we'll do the create.
Create. And then here, inside of here, we can just say count plus plus. Yeah, Copilot knows what we're doing.
You know what's up. This is a little bit different. Because that body returns an async. Or a promise, sorry.
Yeah, I think it's the value that's the promise, right?
So, yes.
Yeah. That value is a promise. So once we have the request body, that's where we'll get our title from. So that's the thing that the user put inside of the form here, right? We'll set it to false, and then we'll say the response body should be able to just look like this.
Yep. And then we'll need to add our to-do to our database, if you will.
Right. There we go. So everything is in context, which makes it kind of nice if we wanted to do something like this, request or response. So rather than it being like an ordered arguments, it's kind of like mapped arguments.
I prefer for the most part.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially like you're doing optional stuff.
Oh, I guess I put the wrong thing in here. We actually, the body, we just want to have the new to do that was created. So let's try that again. Okay, there we go. So there we go with that. Do we have time to quickly do
we can do
toggle?
Let's do it. We're 10x developers. Sorry, NX developers.
No, I think Copilot is going to be the 10x developer here because I think it knows where we're going.
You're the 10x developer because you can use Copilot.
Yeah, this is I got this in the bag, y'all. This is all me.
Don't sweat it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so toggle is in. Let's make sure that works. Oh, that's not going to work right now because we made a change, so that reset our database essentially. Toggling, looks good.
Yeah, we refresh it should still be there.
Yep.
Nice.
Let's turn it on and refresh. Make sure it's still on when we come back. Yep, all looks good.
Dog.
And the last thing to do, we just need a delete. And yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, grab the ID.
Delete it.
Delete it. Sure. We don't need to call the body twice, but yeah. We already resolved the body.
Oh value. Yeah. Let's come on, Copilot.
Optimize.
This is why we're still around, y'all.
Is
right?
that memory?
Toggle, delete it, refresh it, test 23. We got Jordan in here. Hit the refresh. I think we're good.
Yeah.
This all looks good. Let's show the project graph first because I did want to show that. So yeah, we can see it looks pretty much like it did before. Like here's that whole tree going up and down. Mm-hmm. The Express app is still hanging out over here, but we got our Deno API now. And if we check the edge here, we know, okay, it's source main has that import. So you want to look at Deno Deploy? Do we have time? I've got time.
Do you have 5 minutes?
I have 5 minutes.
Yeah, let's do it. Can you push this up to GitHub?
Can you?
Yeah. There we go. All right, we're pushed up.
We'll put Deno Deploy.
Yeah, go to Google search that bad boy.
To Google search Deno Deploy.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do it through the UI.
I thought you were telling me to just.
I think there is a command to be able to do this. I don't know, or like a YAML file. Great. Okay. You can click sign in at the top. You just use your GitHub credentials if you want, or if you want to make an account, by all means. Oh, I think it only does that.
Yeah. Why not? Sign my whole life away. New project.
Select. All right, Deno Livestream.
There we go.
Let's select our branch.
Branch main.
Automatic.
Let's do it. Automatic.
And then basically here, so that you can see right there, main.ts, it started for us, or whichever one, the Deno API one.
Deno API. That looks like the right one, right?
Yeah. And then you just hit link. And then there's a max limit character because it's dumb. Just name it something else.
Let's do like ZDR.
There you go.
There we go.
And then hit link.
Link. Oh, what? Okay. Okay, so that did all the stuff where it got all the stuff we needed from the imports.
Yeah, it's live.
What the heck? Okay, let's see.
It might be on the port like 3000. Yeah, there we go.
All right. Hang on.
Our API.
This is why we had Postman. This is why we did all this at the beginning, right? Copy that. Here we go. We're going to post to /create. And what did it look like again in the body?
Title?
Raw JSON. I think it was title.
It was like title.
That's it.
Sent it. Oh!
Everyone go spam this API right now.
Oh my gosh!
So if you go, if you go look back on your Deno Deploy tab.
Yeah. Is that
here,
this one?
And you go to logs. So yeah, you see this thing called isolate start time. So basically when people visit, it's gonna start up different locations and you can see how fast and everything like that.
If only we were good developers that actually put some console logs inside of these so we can see what was going on.
Well, let's do it because you just push and now it'll be deployed.
This is the wrong file though. This is the Express one. So let's say just inside of each one of these, there's probably some middleware to do something like this, but we'll just do like console log in Git. Yeah. And then we'll say in create, and then maybe the request dot body dot value.
Have to await it.
You have to await that.
Yeah. There we go. That'll be helpful for this one where we toggle it in toggle. Probably not the best logging, right? But it'll.
This is top tier production ready logging.
Okay, there we go. There we go. It would be, like I said, it would be nice to have like some middleware, so I could have just put that in there.
We could probably write like one, but
all right. Git commit
and push to the
production level logging.
Add everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, -A.
Yeah, I actually don't need to add because I didn't make a new file, but yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Whatever.
Git push Zach. All right, let's do we miss it?
Go to deployments.
Look at deployments.
There it is.
There it is.
Deployments.
And wait a little bit.
Just give it like a couple
Come on.
seconds.
It said automatic, guys. It said automatic.
You probably just got to refresh.
I know. I wonder if there. I don't think I'd be surprised if they had a WebSocket for this. Maybe they're polling, but
this is a lot longer than it usually takes.
Oh my goodness!
It's usually within like 3 seconds.
Did I do something wrong? That's what I'm at.
Not that I'm aware of.
You 1 minute ago. Okay, let's just
check.
It's
on GCP Cloud, you know.
Wait, what?
Oh,
there's 2. And this was not prod yet. Okay, that's why. Because the thing that had just been deployed 1 minute ago for some reason was the same as we had, and now there's a new one here.
Well, that'll do it.
That'll do it. Why is this one not prod yet? Okay, now it's prod.
There it is.
Now we can see. All right. So now if we come back, I bet unless timing was weird, this should be empty again.
Yeah.
So let's add. We'll send it a bunch.
Just send it
we're
a
load
bunch.
testing right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I feel like I hit send a lot more times than that, but I think that was Postman probably.
Yeah. So if you go back to the logs, we should now see them.
Yeah. Let's see logs. Hey,
Yeah. We did it.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty dang cool. I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff you could do with these logging things too if we had a better standard. But
yeah. But yeah. Here, actually, send me the URL and we
for
can
what
this site, or post it in chat or whatever. We can all hit it at once. Get requests.
You mean for the API?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Y'all can have a good time with this. I'm not paying for it. I hope. I didn't see it. I never gave him my credit card. So
why it's empty? I thought it's like
yeah. So this is because it's on the edge, right?
So
the whole new isolate per thing. So if you go look back at your log tab,
yeah.
This is what I want to show. So you'll see that's me in the south right there. So I started a whole new instance isolate.
There's
someone from
we are not edge ready, y'all.
We're not edge ready. Look, someone in that might have been Chau.
Broke our pipes, Chau. How could you?
But yeah, like this is kind of like the idea of Deno Deploy. We had a little rough start, a couple Git issues, but
yeah,
like that's the idea. And I think it's just kind of fun.
Someone's hitting us in Europe.
Yeah, like I think this is so fun, and I don't know why.
US South. We need some of y'all from Africa to hit it up. Yeah,
and these are like the cold start times as well, right? So it took 100 milliseconds, and then that isolate will stay up for a little bit and then shut down.
There's Evan over in Europe. Oh nice. Wait, he's Europe Southwest.
Oh no.
Jordan, Europe Central, probably Jordan.
Asia Southeast one.
There we go.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, I think Deno Deploy is really cool, especially for like, hey, I want to test out Deno. How do I do this? It's pretty straightforward.
Well, hey, Caleb, Chau, thanks so much for joining us. Everyone in the chat, thanks for coming. This was a fun time.
Yeah, it was great.
Y'all just sprung on Deno Deploy on me, and it was pretty awesome in the end. Really cool to see how Deno could fit in with your stuff and make it like there's obviously still a lot of hurdles there. Like we mentioned, the biggest one is just that the Node standard libraries aren't available, which makes things hard for interop, which makes things hard just all around. But there's a path forward here with NX, I think. But yeah, Caleb and Chau, thanks so much.
Yeah,
everyone in chat, y'all rock. Check out the videos, check out the stuff on YouTube. There'll be more stuff coming in. And yeah, we'll catch you on next time.
Have a good one.